Hi everyone, in this episode of Take Charge Now, I bring together inflation, taxes, and a side hustle. I get it. Higher inflation is impacting most households here in Canada, and it is still considered to be stubbornly high. I wasn't all that surprised by a report that came out from H&R Block that found 85% of those Canadians that they surveyed said that they simply weren't making enough money to make ends meet. In fact, 28% have now turned to a side hustle. What does surprise me is that of the 28%, 44% have no intention of paying tax on the income that they've generated. Now, think about that just for a moment. 28% of Canadians. That translates into 8,746,000 Canadians. If they elect not to pay tax on income that's generated, do you think for a heartbeat that CRA is not going to notice, that they aren't going to investigate this further? They will. And if you don't pay taxes on the money that you have coming in, that's considered tax evasion and a criminal offense. Now, many say they'll risk it. They'll pay it should CRA come knocking. That may be fine. You may have to pay an amount, there may be a fine, there may be interest, but there could be more associated with it. You know, H&R Block really does think it makes all kinds of sense to speak to an expert, and I have to agree. When you work in the gig economy or you have a side hustle, and trust me, I know, I'm in it, I'm not going to get a T4. The onus is on me to keep my records of everything that I made and all the expenses I have for at least a 6-year period. CRA can come calling at any time. But also, by not declaring, I may be missing out on benefits, deductions, some credits that I might not otherwise know I'm even entitled to. And people often think, well, you know, once in a while I pick up a gig with Uber and I'll drive for a bit just to make ends meet at the end of the month. Or they think I'm just going to rent out a portion of my home through Airbnb. Or maybe I'll deliver via DoorDash food just on occasion. But what about the online marketplace that's really becoming common, like Etsy or Poshmark? All of this adds up, and CRA is very aware of this gig economy. You know, when you think about some of the credits that you might be entitled to or deductions, if you're an Uber driver, you may be able to deduct car maintenance, car cleaning, some gas. You get where I'm coming from. If you participate in Airbnb, you may be able to write off some of your furnishings, a portion of your mortgage interest, house cleaning, toiletries. All of this can add up. Now, to the extent that you have a side hustle where you're making $30,000 or more, you are going to have to register for GST, HST, QST as it applies. And yes, you have to collect it and you have to remit it. You also might want to think about when you make more than $3,500 a year, and if this is your primary source of income, paying into CPP, small amounts today, could reap huge benefits down the road. And speaking of benefits, when you actually declare this as income, it could open up additional RSP contribution room for you. And again, that could mean more money in your pocket. The point is, it's on us. The onus is on us to declare the income we have. And I just think it's far too much risk to say CRA is not going to come calling, because what if they do? Just what if they do?